Here you go, man.
Thanks, dude. I got you.
Cool. Yeah. Sweet.
April 19th, my store, Tallahassee North, finished 0 and 15. That means for 15 renewals, we sold 0 new products. Instead of blaming my specialists, I asked them one simple thing. Email me where you think our team missed out on the opportunities today. Most responses were like, I'll sell more home tomorrow, or they didn't need it. One response, however, stood out above all. It was one of my new hire. His response was this. I feel that I'm learning the Verizon way at a decent pace. However, at times I feel stranded. I acknowledge that I am on the 0 hum list, but I feel I'm not getting the support. I'm not asking to be micromanaged, but I would like some input. We were failing him as leaders. And as leaders, we have to take that responsibility when our reps or our specialists are failing to succeed. Jocko Willink encompasses this idea perfectly when he says there are no bad teams, only bad leaders. Again, it was our job to make sure that he had the support system that he had, and we were failing at doing that. So this program teaches me how to accomplish that. So I'm going to talk to you about what I learned in this program, how I was able to implement that in my KPI and contest results, and then how we can become a better Verizon. When I think about the Lead Specialist program, 3 things come to mind what I learned the most. Floor management, coaching, and store culture. The first, floor management. It's extremely important to have high energy. As you can tell, I'm trying that right now. Every day you have to come into your store with high energy because your energy bounces off to the representatives of your store. I implement this with a strong shift start every day, giving them the promotions and getting them pumped up and ready for the day so we can have an effective and productive day. It's also important to have awareness in your store. 1, because it gives you the opportunity to jump in on a correct team sell, and 2, because it secures and gives your employees a safe, secure environment to sell. Lastly, one of the most important things when you transition from a specialist to a manager is to make sure that you are correctly handling the floor and management in turn. You are not becoming a super solution specialist. My next point is coaching. It's the most important tool that we have to be a successful business. It allows us to take ideas from multiple people and bring them into the single best idea. We do this by following the Platinum Rule. The Platinum Rule states that we coach our employees as they would like to be coached, and we lead our employees as they would like to be led. We need to have a directed focus when it comes to coaching. This allows us to focus on our lower performers, but use our higher performers to then boost the morale of our lower performers. This is implemented by using role-playing and best practices in our store each day. Something I learned from my previous GM, Chad Paulson at St. Augustine, is consistency is key. Coaching is an ongoing experience, and it needs to happen immediately after the transaction. It's not something that can be done at the monthly reviews. It needs to happen immediately after the transaction, more than 2 times a month. Lastly, store culture is an extremely important feature in our business as well, but is often the most difficult concept to grasp. I want to paint the picture of the chess game. The pawn is the most simple and basic piece in the game. It can only make 1 move at a time. However, if it reaches the end of the board, it then gains the position of the queen. It can move as many places as it likes in any direction. If we can develop our leaders and our employees like the pawn develops into the queen, we would have a winning store culture. We can do this with servant leadership. We pull our team instead of pushing them. They see the value in our leadership and want to work for us, which also gives them an individual self-worth because they have a purpose in the store and they come in to be a part of the team, not just to work. And lastly, we take complete ownership as leaders. Whenever it happens we see failures, we own that and we give the successes to our employees. Now that we've talked about what I learned in the leadership program, I want to show you how I applied it and how it worked out the results we saw in not only my contest, but also my KPI. Again, this is a graph, so I know you DMs might want to analyze it right away, but the important thing is up here. When I first got into the store, I immediately started implementing these things. As you can see, the jump from February to March had a huge impact my first month as a manager. And also, again, in April, we saw some increases as well. My contest, on the other hand, the Tallahassee Hat Trick, was a rep or a specialist would sell one tablet, hum, and a watch in a day, and they would get a $25 recognizing you. It was a complete failure. Only one person got it. However, it wasn't really a failure. Even though there weren't immediate gains with their recognizing you title, we built long-term behaviors which gave us long-term results. As in May, we increased our total pull-through products by 16%, and behaviors that stayed within the next month and the month following that as well. We saw similar results in my KPI project. With Tara, I was tasked to increase the TMP metric throughout the District of Jacksonville. I was promoted after the first session of the LEAD program, and I moved to Talley-Gainesville. To Noah's dismay, I also still helped Jacksonville, even though he really wanted to win. Helped both districts. And the way we did this was, instead of, we stopped asking if you wanted insurance. We started to build the value of total loan protection by bundling it, by selling the value of the features, by being real and explaining what would happen if you don't have the product, and lastly, putting the ball in the customer's court. Let's take a look at the results of how this works. Again, same thing with the graph. But, as you can see, it was a 5-month program. From March until July, we ran this program. With the exception of 1 month, in June, we saw a steady increase. My belief in June why we saw this decrease is because this pitch requires management involvement. We did have Wireless Leadership Academy starting in June for our district, so I believe that was something we had to adjust with. But the ultimate goal here was that we increased the total loan protection percentage and kept the 30-day DX low. In doing so, over the 5 months, we succeeded by increasing it by almost 6% in both districts. Both districts finished above 70%. Let me say that again. Districts finished above 70%.
Ooh.
Doing so, this allows for us to give the best possible customer experience to our customers. Unfortunately, this doesn't always happen. And this is what leads me into my final point, is where the inconsistencies in our channels in Verizon often cause a bad customer experience. My solution to this is a one-stop resolution. When the customer comes in with a problem, we fix it there. We don't throw them to customer service because we don't want to give them a credit, and customer service doesn't throw them to the store with an expectation that we can't meet. So the idea that the customer is always in the middle of this, and we need to create that best customer experience. We do this by bridging the gap between our channels. I started to do this when I was in WLA, Wireless Leadership Academy, and I talked and networked with the leaders of the other channels. I found the best way to do this is to continue to do that. I've been working with Noah and an account business manager where we're going to look into doing a team build between our indirect channels and our corporate channel. We're working on that right now. We'll see the progress. I'll get back to you on that. But another thing that we can do is create a one-stop resolution desk for the issue with the credit so that stores are not pressured to send customers out of the store to give a credit by customer service. There will be a single issue resolution desk that does all crediting. That way, we'll be a much better store and company because we'll be getting a consistent customer experience. It's our duty as leaders to do this, to create that customer experience. So I pledge to always use what I learned in this program and implement it on a daily basis. I will consistently look to increase metrics and build on behaviors that will bring long-lasting goals and success. And I pledge to continue to build Verizon and become one Verizon and act like one company. There truly are no bad teams, only bad leaders. I challenge you guys today to be the best leaders you can be and develop as many people as you can to be the leaders of the future of this company.